Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Golf Center along with former ESPN anchor Bob Stevens. I'm PGA professional Chris Tremblay and another loaded show today, Bob.
It's going to be a great show. We're going to talk with the Director of Operations at Port Royal, Jeremy Cadorette, and we're going to bring in one of your young folks.
We sure
who has been training over here.
We're going to bring in Benga
Just came off his first victory.
He sure did.
Oh, I think it's great to see the growth of the game, and he's going to tell us a whole lot. I'm going to learn a lot from him before the show's over.
Yeah, he's done a wonderful job of improving his game. But before we get to them, we've got to talk about some golf news. And the 62nd South Carolina Open was played this past week at the Belfair Plantation West Course. And we had a local product as a winner, and amateur John Patterson, the co-general manager and director of sales and marketing over at the Chesapeake Creek Club. What a great victory for an amateur, huh?
That's awfully good play for a guy who actually has a job.
That's right, for somebody that has a normal job.
To do. Well, it's not a normal job. He's working at Chesapeake Creek.
That's true.
He can sneak in a little.
You think during lunch hour he's out there hitting a few balls?
Just a thought.
Just
maybe
a thought.
Might be happening.
Well, congratulations to John. It was a fine victory. Other local products that played very well were David Rogers from the Secession Club. He's also from Bluffton. Amateur Ben Dietrich from Bluffton. I'm going to try to say this name anyway, even though I don't know. Adam Lescalette of Long Cove Club. Adam, I hope I said it right. If I didn't, you can let me know down the road. I got the Adam part right. J.D. Hoft. Our Hilton Head Island amateur champ, had a terrific tournament, finished at even par and tied for 10th. And Scott Hunter of Wexford tied for 15th and only one over, tied for 15th at Belfair. So that shows you the quality of play.
Well, and that's a head professional. Another guy who has a job for a living.
That's right.
A head professional over at Wexford that had managed to sneak in a few shots and still has some games. Scott's a great player.
Yeah, he certainly is. He came down from the Philly section last year, and when he's in a tournament, there's always a chance for a W in his corner. Now, it should be brought up that John Patterson, it's not as though it's his first time at a big event. You know, he was a pro. He made it to the 2000 final stages of Q School. Became his amateur again, regained his amateur status, and actually last year made it to the round of 16 at the USGA Mid-Am.
Wow, yeah, that's huge. So that kind of play shows that you can do it. When you can get in there and not just qualify to play in match play, but advance in match play in any of the USGA tournaments, you can play.
No doubt about it, you get down to that final 16. Let's jump on over to the RBC Canadian Open that happened last week. And one of our favorites here, our sister tournament, 2012 Heritage Champion Brandt Snedeker is a winner with RBC once again.
Yeah, and I want you to look at the caddy, Scott Vail. Scott Vail is a native Canadian. This tournament meant so much to him. He's going to take that Canadian flag off the 18th flag stick.
Oh, you bet.
That's going to be his. Usually the player gets it, the caddy takes it off for the player. Brandt's going to let Scotty have that. He really wanted to win the tournament for Scotty, and a great win for Brandt, although it will to some come with a little bit of an asterisk.
A little bit, no doubt about it. You know, the whole thing with Hunter Mahan being the 36-hole leader, he was warming up on the range on Saturday, getting ready for his third round, and he got the call from his wife.
You know, that's the first time we've heard about players going out with the beeper and being ready in case it happens.
We finally saw something happen.
It happened. It didn't happen while he was on the golf course. At least it happened before he began, but the officials knew about it, and he withdrew, got in the car, flew home to Dallas, was there for the birth of his daughter, and congratulations to Hunter. Although to me, it brings up a little bit of a conundrum.
Let's ponder a little something here.
Well, and we want you to ponder this with us. Talk this over with your spouse. You know, Hunter's won a handful of tournaments already. He's made more money than he'll ever need. He can do that. He can walk away from a two-shot lead in the Canadian Open at 36 holes. Can a guy a little further down the money list? Can a guy down just trying to keep his card who's just struggling to maintain the great life that they have on the PGA Tour? Would he have been as likely to do with it? And would we have blistered him if he didn't?
And would his wife have said if he wasn't in the same position as Hunter, no, honey, there's really not much more you can do right now. You stay there and...
Hunter was absolutely no help during the delivery of the baby. He can help now. This week he can change some diapers, but you know, it's just an interesting kind of social.
Well, like you said, we finally saw it play out where somebody had to make the decision, and obviously it didn't take him long. He decided right away to drop the clubs and he headed home.
Yeah.
But if somebody weren't in that same position, what might they have done?
My wife would have said, "Stay and play. We need the money."
Other top finishers at the RBC Canadian Open: William McGirt, who once again tied for second as he did last year.
South Carolina's own now.
That's right.
Lives in Boiling Springs after being growing up in Lumberton. Great guy. and nearly won last year and gave Brant a pretty good shot.
And if you watched him play on Sunday, that's a solid game. Not that you're not going to be if you're there anyway, but he really looked good. So hopefully he'll continue his fine play.
And the good thing is that gets him through not just one, but likely 2 playoff events.
That's
too.
right.
That's where the guys really, that's where you pick up the big.
And we've only got 3 more weeks. We have the World Series this week, or Reno Tahoe, depending where the guys are going to be. We have the PGA at Oak Hill next week.
Right, and
then we have Wyndham up in Greensboro, and then they're off to the playoffs. Right. So we've got 3 more weeks to get points. So the points are a hot commodity right now.
Indeed.
So the FedEx Cup going in there, we have Tigers leading. Matt Kuchar's closed the gap to 278 points. Brant Snedeker, he's third with 303 points behind. Phil Mickelson's fourth, and Billy Horschel's fifth. So we've really got a star-studded lineup going into the playoffs.
Probably be the 5 best players on tour this year.
More than likely.
That has just been kind of the way it is shaken out. Phil and Tiger are right there, but the young guys like Snedeker and Kuchar are right there as well. It's going to be a great finish to the season.
Let's change things up a little bit now and move over across the pond to the Senior Open Championship that was played last week at Royal Birkdale in Southport. And Mark Wiebe, for the 4th time, is a winner on the Champions Tour.
And how about that? Beating Bernhard Langer in a playoff that extended into Monday morning. Langer is kind of he's an imposing character. He's not the Tiger Woods of the Champions Tour, the old Tiger Woods, but I tell you what.
He's the ever-ready bunny.
And the Champions Tour guys, when they're looking at leaderboards and they're playing around, they kind of want to know where Bernard is. He is that good because he's always contending. Got to the end and let the tournament get away from him. Made a double at 18
it looked
at
like
the final
it was his. No doubt about it.
And then Mark Wiebe is the winner. So congratulations to him, a guy who was a journeyman on the PGA Tour but has really hit his stride on the Champions Tour. And then another great tournament going over across the pond this weekend.
Yes, we have the Ladies Rico British Open, and we have for the first time ever a chance for a professional to win the first 4 majors of the year, and that's what NB Park has going for her.
How about that? I mean, she has just had such an amazing year. We don't show her holding trophies because there are too many to hold right now for her.
She'd have them all over the place for this year, that's right.
But what a great opportunity for her. She has I think the best quality I think I have seen her show is a knowledge of what she's up against and what she has in front of her, but not a fear of it. Not a concern about it. Hey, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Sure, I'd love to do it, but I've got to play well.
And I think that's one of the things that's helped her produce this year is that, she's not getting caught up in the moment. She's just going about her business day after day after day, just like her swing. Repeat, the great tempo. And, of course, the putting stroke. Now, granted, putting generally isn't the premium at St. Andrews. Obviously, it is in terms of scoring, but it's not as though you have really fast greens that are really slopey. The 17th, they're going to change back to a par 4 for the ladies. Last time the Ladies Open was there, the 17th, the road hole played as a par 5. They're going to change that back to a long par 4 for them. So it should be some good watching. Hopefully she'll be right there in the end.
I'm waiting for them to make that hotel a little bigger, extend it out, and you have to hit it over the top of the hotel.
You only have to hit it over the wall in a corner of the hotel right now. So that should be good stuff. So we'll see what happens there. And that's all the news we have for right now. When we come back, we're going to be speaking with Junior Players Golf Academy student Benga Toriola.
And we'll also be talking with Jeremy Cadorette. It all comes up and as we continue here on Golf Center. Welcome back to Golf Center. We are always interested in learning more about the game and the people who play it, especially the young people who play it. We're joined now by Benga Toriola, who is one of Chris's students at the Junior Players Golf Academy. One of your very good students.
Yeah,
I believe he got an A last week.
He did get an A last week. Benga actually picked up his first victory ever this past week at the Hilton Head Island Junior Golf Association weekly event. And, he's been with us for about a year now, and he's really made some wonderful progress. So, Benga, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
Let's talk about the win, first of all. Tell me, coming down the stretch, any nerves, any worries at the finish?
Yeah, I was getting kind of nervous because I wasn't playing too well at the back nine, but then I decided I should just try and keep on making my pars, and I'll be good for the tournament.
3s and 4s.
Yep. 3s and 4s. So tell me a little bit about the other day. Did we hit the ball well? Did we really putt it well? What kind of led you to keeping that score down?
I started off hitting the ball well. I was trying my best to keep it on the fairway off the tee, and then hitting into the greens. I wasn't too close to the pin, but then I could manage up and downs and make some pars.
Left yourself in a good spot, so you really didn't put too much pressure on yourself. And I do believe you told me that you made a couple of bombs out there. You made 2 bombs, is that right?
Yeah, on the first 2 par 3s, I was able to drain some long putts for birdie.
Well, there's your twos
So
right
there's
there.
your twos.
Yeah.
3s and 4s are good. 2s are really, really good. I notice, Benga, that Chris says "we" when it's really good news, and then he says you had to scramble a little bit when it's not so.
Yeah,
good
that's
news.
the way we try to keep it
understand
nice
how the
and light
team
right
works,
there.
yeah.
So Benga, tell us, obviously you're going to be starting your second full year with us this fall. You came to us from Lagos, Nigeria, going into your junior year. What led you to want to come over here to the United States and be part of our family at the Junior Players Golf Academy?
Back in Nigeria, I actually knew Tokes, which one of the
Pedro?
Yeah, other JPGA players. And he told me about the JPGA, and I figured if I want to get better at golf, I should probably come here. And I did come to my junior year.
Well, you've made some wonderful progress. When Benga first came to see us, he was shooting high 80s, low 90s in the competitive rounds, and he actually had his best 36-hole event last year, was a pair of 77s, and then he had the 73 the other day over at Dolphin Head. So in the period of less than a year, he's really made some wonderful competitive progress.
16, 17. How old are you, Benga?
I just turned 18. Yeah.
Just turned 18.
Just turned 18.
That is still to come all that way. Not just the golf part of this the socialization part of it, and living here and being a part of the community here. How's that gone? What's been the toughest part of the transition for you?
Toughest part would probably be getting used to the amount of how close it is here. You know a lot more people. Back there I didn't know I barely knew anyone, and I liked it because I get to meet more people, talk to more people, and it was kind of fun. Get help with homework and stuff, and getting used to playing golf as well as going to school every day was probably one of the toughest parts.
So take us through your average day, just so everybody at home knows. Okay,
Once
we're going to say school is in.
Yeah, yeah.
So take
Next
everybody
month.
through your average day and your timetable from the time the bus picks you up in the morning outside of our cottages up there on Beach City Road.
The bus picks us up probably at 7:30. We get to school. School starts at 8:15. We go through school. We have a 6-day schedule, and then afterwards we leave school early, at 1:45.
So you can be where?
So we can be at the golf course. It starts
That's
at 2,
right.
and we practice and play till about 5 o'clock. Afterwards we work out.
Okay, so that takes me to our fitness program that we have at the Junior Players Golf Academy. How do you think the fitness program has aided your golf game? What's it done for you?
It's given me a lot of distance in my game, and that's also given me a lot of control in my game. I get to hit shorter clubs into the green so I can control it, get close to the pin. And it's also kept me fit. I've been able to keep flexible as I'm growing and get stronger with the game.
And I would think this kind of a program, I remember being 18 and just staying disciplined enough to go to school, go work out, go play, do the things I need to do. Wasn't easy. There were a lot of distractions, a lot of reasons not to. And I'm sure the JPGA has helped you with your discipline, and that helps in your game too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has a lot. It has. I'm a lot more concentrated on the golf course and at school. It's also helped me like meeting people and things like that, because I live in colleges with other students around my age.
That's great.
So tell us a little bit about the strengths and weaknesses of your game. What do you think your strengths are?
My strengths probably I can hit the ball pretty much further than some of the people I play with, and then
He hits it pretty far.
and then my weaknesses would probably be short game. But then I've been working on that a lot during the summer that I stayed here, working on putting a lot, up and down bunker game. I was able to save myself some strokes there.
And this is really the part of the game that's catching up and helping him score, Bob, because his ball striking actually can be pretty darn solid, but for some reason every once in a while it takes a little bit longer for that short game to kick in, and especially come tournament time. So
Does for all of us.
it does.
Benga, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you being
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
When we get back, we're going to be with Jeremy Cadorette of Port Royal right after this.
Golf courses are never static operations. They're always in motion, and if they're not getting better, they're likely getting worse. Port Royal golf courses are trying to get better all the time. Jeremy Cadorette, the Golf Operations Director at Port Royal, is joining us. Jeremy, thanks for joining us. What's the new project going on at Port Royal where you've got 54 holes? You've got a lot of golf course to do.
We sure do. Well, this is the first phase of several renovations that we're going to be doing, and we're going to be renovating around 45 of our tee boxes on Barony and Robbers Row. And that actually comes out to about 95,000 square feet of tee box we're going to be redoing.
That's a lot of turf.
That is a lot of turf.
Sure is.
New grass?
Yes, we're doing new grass. We're actually completely stripping the old grass off, We're tilling it all, then regrading it and laser leveling it. And then we're going to put down this certified TIF Grand Bermuda.
TIF Grand Bermuda.
Yeah, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the TIF Grand Bermuda is one of the most shade-tolerant Bermuda grasses that there is out in the market right now. It also has low requirements on water and fertilization as well, so that's
and
nice.
And that fits nicely into Port Royal's complex because obviously they have a lot of trees on their golf course, which actually makes it very nice in the summertime to be able to stay in the shade. And I can tell you because our academy holds a lot of our camps and we play over there a lot, so it definitely helps to stay cool.
Great for the comfort of the player. More trees to hit into, of course, on that golf course.
But that's generally what you see is when you get a place with a lot of trees, you have trouble with grass growth through, you have to do root pruning or take the trees down, and like Jeremy said, this grass that they're putting in on the tee boxes should be a little bit more sustainable.
So this is more of an investment, isn't it? I mean, this is going to cut your costs in the long haul.
Yes, we hope so. We hope so. And just this tee box project alone, we're probably going to be investing right around $100,000. So just to do the tee boxes. So yeah, we're definitely hoping this all works out well for us.
People don't think about tees needing to be. I mean, we all think they're level. We just naturally think they're level. Tees move over time, don't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. And Port Royal is one of the older golf courses on Hilton Head, and some of our tee boxes we found dated back to the early 1960s. So over the course of time, you can only imagine a lot of them became crowned, unleveled, so they're definitely in need of some extra work.
Wait a minute. We date back to before the 1960s, but then again, we're crowned and not very leveled either.
We kind of have. We need to level ourselves out too. And as funny as that sounds, when he talks about leveling the tees, especially on the par threes and being in the south where we generally put the sand down to replace the divot, it doesn't take long before the tees can become very uneven just through the usage of sand and where they put the markers.
Yeah, tell us a little more about that. I mean, it is.
Well, yeah. Another thing too is they had a whole different way of designing the courses back in the 1960s. So the tee boxes back then were a lot thinner, and they're actually very narrow, and that really does over the course of time, just doing a lot of play, moving the tees. It makes it very wavy, and now we made them a little wider. It's going to give us more options to rotate them around a little bit.
I'm impressed that you're doing more than just leveling them and regrassing them. You're building new tees, aren't you?
In some cases, we're actually moving the whole tee in general, where we know we cannot do any tree work or grow tee boxes. We're moving the whole tee, yes.
Now, what is the time frame for the project?
Well, actually, we're working on Barony right now as we speak, and they're moving at a rapid pace. But ultimately, we hope to have all the tee boxes open on both the golf courses around August 16th. But of course, that varies on weather. So,
is it going to affect play at all between now and then? You can still
it's
play.
It's going to slightly affect play.
Okay.
We're still going to allow play out on the course. Most of the holes, we still have other tee boxes to use. But in some cases, we're redoing all the tee boxes on that hole, so we'll have some temporary tees cut out for our guests to use.
Now, our guests that are visiting us here on the island, how can they find out more info about Port Royal and the other courses in the Heritage Golf Group?
Well, they can go to hiltonheadgolf.net. That's our website, and you can access all of our courses from there. Also, if you're interested in booking any tee times, you can call 1-800-2-FIND-18. We have some great reservation agents up there too that have all the information that you would need to know to answer any of your questions.
And one of the things that I've noticed, Bob, is, like I said, our academy is over there. I see more and more people coming out a little later in the afternoon, sometimes for a quick 9 after they've been at the beach all day. So you definitely have availability there because I see the people heading out. So that's a nice option for them.
Yes, yeah. We also have a family fun type thing here in a shipyard where it's $30 for the adult and $15 for the junior, and that's after 4 o'clock. And that's great to get the juniors out and involved.
Absolutely. You can get 9 in for sure, and maybe even sneak in a couple more. That's
right.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, we're even going to throw in a free set of rental sets for the kids, the junior sets. So we're letting them use
Makes it even easier.
There we are. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Jeremy,
thank you for having me.
The Golf Operations Manager at Port Royal Golf Club. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. The golf course is looking good. It's improving all the time, and this is definitely going to take them to the next level.
We're real excited about it.
Indeed. I want to play better when I go out there next time. You're going to help me do
I'm going to help you do that. We're going to show you how to check your grip right after this. Welcome back to Golf Center. We're going to help you get a grip on your game, and Bob's going to help me do that with you. Bob, we have the club here in our hand, our little Dorfer Golf Club here.
That's it. I'm going to get a grip on my game.
You're going to get a grip on your game. Okay, the first thing we want to do is make sure everybody understands that this front part of the club right here, where the club face and the sole of the club meet, this is called the leading edge. We're going to have Bob grip the club right in front of him,
Okay.
with the club parallel to the ground, the grip going into his belly button, and I want that leading edge to be directly up and down. And the way I'm going to check that is I'm going to take my little magnet here, and I'm going to put it right on the club face, and I know if that's parallel to the ground, that he has the face nice and square. Okay? So we know he's got the club in the position. We don't want it closed
That's what we're
or open, so we want it
right?
nice and square. Now that we know you have it in a nice square position, I'm going to take that and put that right back there. I'm going to have you hold your hands up here now. Stretch your arms out.
All right.
Straight left arm, relax your right arm, and I want you to start setting and unsetting the club for me, but keep your left arm nice and straight. Okay, just kind of up and down like that. So we're really looking to set and unset your hands. This is the mobility and the freedom your hands need to have to set at the top of your swing. So if you can't do this right here in front of you, you're going to have an awful hard time doing it when you get it up top.
Wow, keeping the leading edge square.
Keeping the leading edge square, getting it going up and down. Okay, now we're going to keep this right here nice and straight. We're going to put the club here. Now we're going to tip the club to about 130. Okay, for you folks at home, it looks more like 1030. This is about 130 for Bob. Now I want you to do that same thing right there for me.
All right.
Feel that motion?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to steal this club.
All right.
I'm going to have you back up just a touch. And I'm going to grab
a
big
real
club,
one.
a real one. I want you to do the same thing now. Get that leading edge nice and square for me. Okay, we're going to check by putting Mr. Magnet right there. All right, Mr. Magnet's nice and square to the ground. Okay.
All right.
Good. Now we're going to have you put the club right here. We're going to have you straighten out your left arm, relax your right arm. We're going to tilt that club to 130 again, and now I want you to start doing this again. Back and forth.
You see you actually do see the pros do this on the driving range all
Well,
the
this
time.
is you loosening up your wrist, but we're also making sure you have the ability to set and unset the club with your hands on there the way they should be, because if you can't set it there, when I turn you, face me now if you would, and I get you up top, you can see that's the same position that you're going to be in. Now turn and face the camera again if you would, please.
All right.
And you see you're in that same position. So do that a few times for me right there. Very good. Just kind of back and forth. And I want you to tell me what you feel. Do you feel this right here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can feel that muscle right there.
Sure.
Okay, this is something the baseball players and golfers have. If you look right here in my forearm, you can see how that muscle in both arms moves around. If you saw baseball players, it's really big. Okay. So now what we do is to have you work on this at home. We have you do 2 or 3 sets of 12 doing this. So I'm going to steal the club.
All right.
Okay, shake your arms out for me. Put that back there. Okay. Left hand's on, right hand's on. A little soft one to get it up and down. Just make sure we got it. Now put it right up here in front of you at the 12 o'clock position.
12 o'clock.
Left arm straight. Right arm relaxed, tip to 130, and make a few chops.
Okay.
Do about 10 or 12 of those and tell me what you feel.
All right. Well, you're feeling it.
Feel some happiness?
Sure.
And
now,
that's
what happens? Okay. But now I want to take it and swing with it.
That's right.
What do I do with it?
You take it from that position, you put it right down on the ground from there.
Yeah.
And from there it just goes right up to that same position, as you can see by your hands. Move your hands around.
Okay.
You can see that you're in that same loaded position.
Okay.
Okay.
All
So
right.
that's how we check and get a grip on our game. Bob Stevens, thank you for helping me out.
Thank you for the lesson.
You're very welcome.
I'll get
I'm
it, Bill.
PGA professional Chris Tremblay. Thank you so much for joining us here on Golf Center. We'll see you next time.